Hi everybody, just testing the music here. Seems to be working fine. Welcome everybody. So we've got pretty huge news today. Obviously we've got the Axion mega update, so we're going to go through that. Haven't actually going to push that on to give you my thoughts on the announcement. So we're just going to post that on the general chats and set that up. Hope everyone's doing well. So don't know what's happening there. Got to delete that now. That's what happens when you get a bit trigger happy. So yeah, is that showing me some love? Oh, there we are, Axion token. So someone else has already put it on there. Nice to see. I was a bit slow. So let's jump into that Axion update. I haven't put this on Telegram, so if you want to do that, that's perfectly fine. So welcome everybody. Let yourself be known in the chat. We're just warming up. We'll probably get a good number of people on today. Pretty epic in terms of the update today. So let's get started straight into it. So basically this is the update. I'm going to read through it and give you my opinions on some of it and see where we're at. Obviously I follow the project very closely, do videos basically every day, and so if I've got any insights I'll try and provide those as we go through. So this is a mega update today, Axion update, so let's do it. Updates have been far and few between lately, but in contrast there's never been more happening behind the scenes than there is right now. The amount of work being done to bring Axion to the next level is staggering, and at the end of the next 2 weeks to a month are going to bring Axion through one of its most significant evolutions to date. So let's just talk first of all that through the next 2 weeks to a month. So I've been saying that for some time in my videos. The price at the moment for Axion is obviously between the lower end, and it's basically a great time to accumulate. So this is what I've been saying for some time, and this update is going to allude to some of the mega value that's come up in the next 2 weeks to 1 month and beyond. So I'm expecting February and March to really re-rate Axion as we move into some of these initiatives. So let's move on from there. It's wise to start this post by highlighting the visions behind everything Axion is currently working on and why. As ambitious as it may sound, Axion has every intention to become a global currency that ranks as a top 5 digital asset. Now, it's nice that Axion's taken the time to really articulate its vision. A lot of cryptocurrencies are either functionally focused or focused on price, or whatever they might be. But this is actually a clear international vision. So a global currency that ranks as a top 5 digital asset. So it's nice to have that clearly up front, and I think that's pretty neat. We have everything we need to get there. All we need is to continue to build, expand, innovate, raise awareness, and execute. We firmly believe that our tokenomics and ecosystem are best in class. So that's really cool. So the tokenomics and ecosystem are best in class. So I think that in the next 2 weeks to 1 month, they will have many of the final things. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but they'll have many of the what I call the platform for takeoff in the next 2 weeks to 1 month. So I think that's super exciting. With the power of layer 2, we can iterate and improve alongside market conditions indefinitely. So obviously we've already gone through the layer 2 part, which is what they're using to do. So let's look at the first major initiative, and let's have a closer look at that. So the liquidity amplifier. Now the liquidity amplifier will allow anyone in the Axion ecosystem to contribute liquidity to the Axion ETH pair on Uniswap. Right, so that's a huge opportunity for market participants, and be rewarded in Axion for doing so. So you get more and more Axion. So those who are faithful to the project, those who understand the project, accumulate Axions, particularly at these prices. They typically, a lot of people have been staking longer. So we've seen the High Five Club go to well over 1,000 people now staked with 2.5 million for 15 years. These people are playing a very clever game with the shares. So obviously the longer that you stake, the more shares you get, and the more shares you get, the bigger amount of the reward pool you get each day. Okay, so the reward pool has inflation, 8% inflation. It also has all the auction market buyback of Axion on Uniswap go into the reward pool. And so these people are playing a very clever position. The other side of it is that they are forgoing short-term gain for longer-term gain in one sense, that they are locking them up for that long period. So it's a continuum. Of course, there's people that stake short-term, that's all good, that fits your needs. There's people that stake long-term, but under this model of Axion, long-term stakers pick up so many more shares, and with the upcoming venture auction, which we'll get to shortly, that's going to be huge. So let's have a quick look at this liquidity swap, liquidity amplifier. Sorry, if you hold one or more multiple of the Axion NFTs, so the NFT is going to play a much bigger role, as we can see here, and that's great to see Axion leveraging NFTs. Your APY will increase accordingly. Having different NFTs will boost your APY, which is basically talking of a type of performance or return that you'll get. But holding multiple of the same NFT will not have the impact. So there's going to be multiple value NFTs types. Now they're already up for sale, some of them. So I know that at least last time I checked, 10 or 12 had actually sold. But there's obviously going to be an increasing demand for these NFTs. Once again, people who are in the High Five Club got NFTs, so it's a very interesting reward system, because they're rewarding people that stake longer, because they want to get that staking up to 90-95%. So we're just currently hovering around about 80% plus or minus 1%. So boosting Axion's liquidity will allow for larger buyers to enter the Axion ecosystem without causing slippage. All right. So boosting Axion's liquidity will allow larger buyers, because there's more liquidity there, to enter the Axion ecosystem without causing slippage. So that means price slippage up and down. So obviously when big players go in to buy in the market, and there's not a lot of liquidity there, they can move the price up against them and down against them, right? So if they want to sell, they're selling against them, so they're going to get a much lower price selling. If they're going to buy with the low liquidity, they're going to make themselves pay a higher price on average because of the lower liquidity amount. This also allows bigger players, institutions, other investors to come online, and those are people that need to be targeted as well as the crypto community generally. There's a critical foundation as being able to scale immensely, and it's right around the corner. The liquidity amplifier is currently fully built, which is fantastic news, and testing, so that's great to hear. The dev team hopes to have the LA fully live by this Wednesday. So that's major FOMO. Now you may have seen there was a price spike today, and that is probably representing some of the news in this update. So obviously liquidity amplifier coming up is huge news. It really scales up Axion. It also is going to make it competitive against some of the bigger liquidity pools as well on Uniswap, so that bodes really well. That will bring more attention, more community people to see Axion too, as it rides up that liquidity spot. Marketing, let's get to that. A lot of people want to talk about marketing. Axion has onboarded an absolute powerhouse of a marketing team that will turnkey our entire marketing operations, including website messaging, website SEO, ad creation and targeting, ad deployment, branding, user onboard flow, new user education, UI UX, so that's your user interface, your user experience, if you're not familiar with those terms, and a lot more. On Monday, Brian, the team's lead, will be appearing on Axion today, so you guys want to catch that show for sure, to give a detailed explanation of the entire plan and detailed roadmap. Often you see in crypto chats, people always talking about when's the marketing, what's happening in the marketing, and very few projects actually have money for marketing, and so a lot of the projects that do don't have a professional team, and that you can see that often suffers. I know a couple of projects that are extremely good technology in the blockchain, probably world leaders, but they really lack the marketing team and the business ecosystem development or business development that these projects need to expand the community. He will also be putting together a shorter 15-minute video presentation for those who prefer. So this is really great. This is straight out of the box. Basically, this is the sort of the public announcement, the public launch of the marketing team for Axion, and that bodes really well for this ecosystem. So we're not talking just about the crypto community. We're talking about onboarding new people and even going further afield to institutions. So that could really garner a lot of attention. So I'm pretty stoked about this. The slideshow will also be uploaded for those who have fewer than 15 minutes to get an overview of our entire planned roadmap and strategy. So that's pretty neat. So let's go back here. We've got website messaging, website SEO. Now that is well underplayed, and a lot of people don't know how to do that well. So it's great to have that. Ad creation, which is great, and we're going to get all these ads and ad targeting. So that's really good. You've got to actually know how to target really well, depending on where you're going to be advertising. Ad deployment, branding, user on board flow. That's really critical. Often done poorly, and so the user on board flow is really important. How can you get something that's complex as simple as possible, so that people can easily just get onboarded, whether it's from Fiat onto Axion or whatever that might be. So new user education, and obviously making it cool UI UX experience that's so flawless. So I'm really stoked about that. Marketing is coming pretty soon. So watch Axion today on Monday. Here's a fit further from Brian, stated early today in the whale chat. So that's one of the perks from being a whale. So you get some of these insights a bit earlier. This weekend is the last time our community will be asking for updates. I have a steady stream of marketing information on a release schedule. So as I said earlier, the community is often asking about what's happening with marketing. So it's straight off the ball. I like Brian's where he's heading with this. It's really cool. Streaming marketing information on a release schedule. So actually having a release schedule, now that's rare. So that's really neat. That's big, big, big. And the days of constant community engagement begin Monday with consistent Axion Today appearances. I really feel that this is one of the key features that's setting Axion apart, because I've already been really excited and stoked about how the way Telegram and Discord are communicated with the devs and all the mods and all that stuff like that. So it's been pretty awesome, and this is going to bode really well for the next level of expansion. So that's got marketing ad engagements and contests, and a whole new slew of calculators and Axion pre-made investment strategies. This is all huge. This is fantastic. There's something for everybody there, and I think that's really cool. The marketing team's goal is to grow our business, and all of our pay metrics are centered around just that. The VCA and marketing of it is what will pump us hardest. And so I think when they use the term pump, they're really talking about adding value and re-rating the price. It's quite hard for a lot of crypto projects to re-rate the price consistently to another level without having pump and dump cycles. I really feel that Axion is one of those crypto projects which is really, if we leave that terminology aside and we start thinking certificate of deposit, mutual fund, we actually start to say crypto in terms of Axion is one of the key projects that actually replacing traditional banking offerings. And once you get the community big enough, you can support that value, you can support that price, and as long as you've got that net churn, you are doing really well. So I think that's pretty exciting. But our launch Monday will certainly drive most not to sell. Yeah, so that's pretty huge. I'm looking forward to a decent re-rate, and people getting that staking rate up. You can see it. If you can get to those metrics, you will fundamentally transform Axion into being a premium crypto project. It's going to be pretty exciting. Load up now. You are about to be saturated with content and marketing and be asked to inundate everyone you know. That's pretty neat. My next all community updates start Monday, so keep a lookout for that in Axion today, and also on the Discord and stuff like that. So it's pretty neat. So let's quickly look. We've got Axion Ventures now. This is huge. If those other two weren't big, this is humongous. Axion Ventures, in a couple of clicks, start earning high interest rewards in Bitcoin. Axion Ventures will be our gateway to onboard most of the global population who are only lightly familiar with digital currencies. Everyone knows Bitcoin, and by depositing some money using your crypto credit card, you can now start earning lifetime interest on Bitcoin, paid multiple times per week. Axion Ventures is incredibly marketable to the layperson, and we will be using this angle very strongly. By paying out in wrapped Bitcoin, this also reduces the inflation rate of Axion dramatically, and that's a huge part that quite a few people may not be aware of, but I think it's ginormous, so pretty exciting. Not only does Axion Ventures target the layperson, but also the crypto community through the altcoin vote. Regularly, community members of various alt teams will compete to see who can buy more Axion. Additionally, after the vote is complete, the odds of them selling the Axion is minimal, while the odds of them purchasing more are high, and we'll get to that in a second. So this obviously onboarding the other crypto communities is huge. It means that we can do that by word of mouth, but obviously the marketing team is going to have a huge focus on that. And the other thing is that they will have to buy Axion, and they'll get more involved in the Axion process. It's kind of a rolling snowball as it rolls down the hill, just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's pretty exciting, and people are this is gonna go like wildfire through crypto land with these auctions and wrap Bitcoin Axion. So it's just going to be another major demand puller in many ways. It's pretty exciting. So here we are. They want to win next week as well, ensuring they hold or buy Axion. So people keep promoting their own projects. I mean, it creates this sort of excitement, almost like the audience in a Roman amphitheater or whatever. So it's pretty exciting. They will naturally learn about the Axion ecosystem, and through this education, many will become long-term stakers. So here's how the vote works. Whoever buys the most and votes for their coin will win, or to have their coin be put onto the buyback. Winning the buyback, of course, is immensely beneficial for many mid-caps. So when you're talking about a buyback that's using Ethereum to buy that particular project's token on market, as it will help increase their token price during this week. As people projects see the buyback, in fact, does increase the token price, the competition will get dramatically more fierce, with more purchases on the Axion token, raising the price and making the buybacks even more powerful. It's a positive feedback loop that will get increasingly stronger over time. Yeah, so it's a feedback loop that's just the economics going to make it more powerful, but it's also the marketing and targeted marketing that goes with it. Those two hand in hand, plus with the word of mouth, it's going to spread like wildfire. People are going to love to get Axion and love to get wrap Bitcoin, so it's going to be pretty epic. Plus the altcoins that are being promoted. The devs are still working on the AV, and once completed we will have it audited, so that's great to see them ticking off. I just saw another project today that said they're going to launch and then have it audited after the launch. Now that's all fine and dandy, but I think a lot of people are over that sort of thing. To have it pre-audited before launch is much more comforting as the crypto market continues to mature. So pretty neat. Alright, so here we look, zero fees and fiat on-ramp. This is huge. Don't underestimate, this is massive for onboarding. Marketing is only half the battle. Getting new prospective holders landed on Axion.network and educated about the system is the first step. From there, we need to create a seamless user experience where people can easily buy and stake with absolute minimum friction. Now this is often overlooked by a lot of projects because obviously a lot of crypto people are quite savvy, but if you're trying to onboard a whole ton of new people, especially to Axion, which is a certificate of deposit and / mutual fund type of product where it's expanding into with the venture capital auctions, this is really fundamental, so I'm looking forward to this. This is precisely what we have in the roadmap. The fiat on-ramp is still well underway, allowing people to soon be able to purchase Axion with a credit card. From there, the idea is to have free staking for stakes longer than 350 days. So there we are, that's some pretty cool news. But since we have discovered a very probable solution that may make 100% of all transactions in the Axion network 100% free, this is not guaranteed, but the likelihood is increasingly positive. Wow, that is just epic. I mean, that would solve a lot of issues. I have a lot of small stakes as well as big stakes, and the small stakes, obviously, I can't actually, given the ETH fees at the moment, I can't actually pull those out. So they'll just be burning away slowly and putting back into the auction. So this is a really great solution for that, and I'm looking forward if they can do that and also sweep all the stakes that you've got, then that'd be pretty neat. Using Matic, it looks highly probable that we'll be able to reduce the cost of transactions by a considerable amount, and we'll be able to pre-fund a wallet to pay for all of the transactions. If everything plays out as anticipated, my wallet will be the one that will pay for 100% of all transactions on the Axion network. Everything will be free to use. You will just have to sign the transaction with MetaMask, which costs nothing. So that's huge news, and I do hope that they can pull that off, because that's just fantastic. And it will set it apart in the market too, and people will probably start copying Axion in terms of doing that. Website, white paper, and branding. Jojo has been working intensely with T. Daly's team at Firesite on a full website overhaul, including updating messaging and branding. It is looking phenomenal. Jojo has also been working on a complete rewrite of the white paper to align with Axion's current upgrades and roadmap ahead. There's a lot more to be said here, but we'll let things unveil themselves with time. Things are progressing incredibly well. So I think with the white paper too, they'll have to make that the language a bit more user-friendly, and I think there's a few questions that they need to cover off that weren't in the original one. So hopefully those two items get included when they do it, when they release the new white paper, so that'd be cool. Axion Today dashboard. This is epic. I love dashboards myself. It's been a long time coming, and the wait is worth it. Its dashboard has just about every metric and info piece you need to understand the Axion ecosystem. It will be a supremely valuable tool to help educate new holders and to encourage existing holders to get deeper involved with data and analytics. Tune in on Monday to the Axion Today show for the unveiling of the roadmap. So the Axion Today show is going to be epic with all the stuff that's in this announcement. Most of it should be covered, if not all of it. So I'm looking forward to that. Staking calculator. Some of our moderators have created a staking calculator that allows you to move sliders around to see exactly what the impact is of when you stake longer and more. It is beautifully value rich, and I guarantee it will be a catalyst to get people to increase both the size and length of the stakes. According to Pullen, it's nearly ready to launch. So I have seen a little snapshot, at least a part of that, if not all of it, and it looks really neat. So that's very exciting to see that. The auction, people's auction, that will help. I guess that staking calculator will just help people to make better decisions as well, to meet their needs and situations. So I'm looking for that. The people's auction. Now this is a proposal that's been floating around certain corners of the Axion community. What if Axion holders could fund the auction with their own Axion instead of minting additional Axion? This would reduce sell pressure and reduce inflation at the same time. This idea is still being ironed out, but we first want to roll out the Axion Ventures auction before shifting focus to iron out the concept's details. But the idea is rock solid and will help Axion tokenomics greatly. Yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see that play out. I think that's a great idea, so we'll see where that heads. Visa credit card. Woohoo! I'm looking forward to this. So this is the one I thought would come up mid-late January. So obviously we're moving well into mid-late January now. This is still very much on track and on schedule. We are simply waiting for Connect to be ready to go, and then Axion will be live and ready to use as collateral on the world's first true crypto credit card. It is important to note payment is not happening in Axion, so this does not create sell pressure on Axion. Rather, Axion is being used as a lock-in collateral. So think of this as another staking portal. In addition, the BTC divs generated from Axion Ventures will be liquid capital that you'll be able to pay off any fees accumulated on your card. So that's going to be huge, and I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it'd be nice to have one of those in your wallet. It's going to be pretty cool. New features. The dev team is continuously pumping out new features. A couple of recent notable ones are hover over the ETH/Axion amount on the auction page, and you'll be able to see the dollar amount, so you can ensure not to overbid, which is huge. So that's a response to a lot of our feedback, so that's pretty neat. Restake function is now live. There is no need to withdraw, which is great. I've seen that, and if you haven't seen that on your staking page, go and check that out. It's pretty big now, and I really like that. You can now see your APY in the staking portal. Yep, that's awesome too. And Discord tipping bot for Axion is nearly ready to launch live. So that's going to be huge for engagement. So one thing that I felt has been missing, obviously the mods and the devs and all are amazing in the Discord. They answer all your questions and they manage it really well. But the Discord tipping bot just needs to add that extra bit of energy into the chats, because this just makes it a lot more exciting. So that's really neat to see that. The future. So the frequency upgrades and improvements in the Axion ecosystem continues to increase. For any project or currency to be sustainable, it needs to be innovative, adaptable, and iterative. Coupled with one of the most robust communities in crypto, Axion is set for major short, medium, and long-term success. There was an infinite amount that could have been said in this document. I like that, the infinite amount, that's cool. Like how we are currently exploring stakes with that can be transferable NFTs. So this would be epic doing this. So this convergent with the NFTs, because NFT is still quite young really. So that's pretty exciting. So you can buy, sell, stake positions, but for the sake of everyone's time and attention, we'll cap it here. I'll be in the Discord AMA channel for the next hour answering any questions you all may have. Now, one thing with the NFTs they could do is they should talk to the Phantasma team, because they've got the most advanced NFTs in the world. They should talk to those NFTs for Phantasma. They're also on the Ethereum blockchain too. They just bought that in a couple months ago, and because they're cross-chain, and they also have they can have NFTs where you can, let's say you had a car, for example, you could break that car apart into different parts, and all those parts would become NFTs. Then you could put all those parts together and make a new kind of car if you had some other parts, and you make a new NFT. and then you can break that car apart into all the little parts of NFTs and so on. So that actually could be quite a good extra feature, massive actually. I mean, it really is the frontier of NFTs that could be used. So maybe it's something for feedback to the Axion team. But I think this is a pretty epic update, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I think we're at the end there. Yep, there we are, we're at the end. So I just wanted to bring this on to this channel and let people know. So I hope everyone enjoyed that. I just got a comment here by Prana. Hey Prana, nice to see you in the chat. Hello Superman everyone. I'm very excited about the potential of making all transactions Axion free. Absolutely. I think it'll be quite a game changer if Axion can get there first. Obviously there's other big projects sitting on Ethereum like Wise Token, like Hex, and heaps of others. So if Axion can get there to make those fees go away for most people, that'd be pretty epic. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. It's been 25 minutes, and I just want to let everybody know overnight we'll probably get quite a few people watching this video, and hopefully reach a couple hundred people that can see this mega update. It's hugely exciting. I think the Axion price is about to explode. It's not investment advice, but you guys want the insights. Here we are. Here's the insights. All right, I hope you enjoyed this one. Feel free to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell for further notification, and I will catch you at the end of today's auction with the latest video. So, hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll catch you in the next one.